Welcome back to Stoic Crypto. Today I want to talk about mempool sniping, as I think it's something you're going to hear more about with the launch of the Runes protocol coming up. And then I'm going to show you a site that you can use to kind of fight back or snipe yourself if that's something that you want to do. A mempool marketplace that is sort of emerging as a potential solution for just regular users to combat mempool sniping of Bitcoin ordinals and Runes tokens and rare sats and so forth. I want to start here with this post by Leonidas, who's huge in the Bitcoin Ordinals community, was behind the Runestone airdrop, and is just a great resource for anything Ordinals. So I'm just going to quickly scan through this, but I'm going to dive into an example using Runestone, and then I'm going to show you the mempool marketplace that could be the solution he's talking about here. So what is mempool sniping? Everything you need to know. So basically, Ordinals inscriptions are traded using PSBT swaps, which are partially signed Bitcoin transactions. The way it works, the seller signs off-chain PSBT that states anybody can complete the swap as long as X amount of Bitcoin is sent to the seller's address. A marketplace, like let's just say Magicat, guards this off-chain PSBT until the buyer comes along and signs the other half, at which point the transaction is broadcasted to the Bitcoin network. So let's take Runestones right now as the example. You can see there's 86 buys pending, right? So cannot buy, right? Cannot buy, cannot buy. So you have to scroll down to find one available. Let's just look at this one right here. So you can see a transaction is currently pending in the Bitcoin mempool awaiting network confirmation. So this one, right, came along and signed the second half of the transaction, and now it has been broadcast to the Bitcoin mempool, which is public. The swap transaction now sits in the mempool waiting for a miner to confirm it, but because Bitcoin blocks are mined about every 10 minutes, it will likely sit there for a long time, right? Especially if it's very busy, if the mempool is busy. I've had some ordinals that I've purchased on Magicat take up to an hour or longer to confirm. So during this waiting period, anybody can retrieve a PSBT from the mempool, sign it themselves, and submit their version back to the mempool, but with a higher fee, so it will be confirmed first. This front-running technique is known as mempool sniping. This goes for any purchase for ordinals. I believe it'll be the same for Runes tokens. So this is why it's important to understand what this is and what you can do about it. I expect tooling to come along in the next several weeks that will allow anyone to go to a website with a few clicks, snipe inscription purchases from the mempool, and that's what I'm going to show you today with Magisat. I'll dive into this in a second, but let's just continue quickly through his post here. This means that if you purchase an inscription on an Ordinals marketplace, again, like Magicat, or are minting a hot Ordinals drop, right, or Runes etching, you aren't guaranteed to receive it. If somebody snipes your purchase from the mempool, you will be refunded your Bitcoin, but you also won't receive the inscription. Just as there will be tools for sniping other people's transactions, I expect there to be tools for protecting your own transactions as well. Other chains like Ethereum have dealt with MEV front running for years, but it's a new concept on Bitcoin. So we'll need to wake up to this reality and get much more sophisticated very quickly. The best outcome here is that we create easy to use mempool sniping monitoring tools that everyone has access to prevent a scenario where a select few are able to prey on the masses, right? So that has been the case, okay? This has been happening. It's technical people that can do bots that have been able to snipe. So Leonidas posted this back in November 2023, right? So let's fast forward to today. Let's enter into the picture Magisat. Exactly sort of what he was hinting at. Magisat is the first Ordinals mempool marketplace. Let's dive into this. They say every marketplace on Bitcoin got Ordinals trading wrong. Nobody took the mempool and block time serious, and thus nobody created what's long been overdue, a mempool marketplace. We've taken that first leap. We're live on Magisat.io. So what is a mempool marketplace? A mempool marketplace tracks every buy of an Ordinal and makes it available for trading up until the time it's spent in a confirmed transaction. Let's go back to our example here with Runestone. So now there's 97 buys, right? These are not confirmed though, so let's click on this one. Transaction is currently pending in the Bitcoin mempool. So this one could be sniped, right? Until now, it really was only anybody that's technical using a bot. But with the advent of Magisat, the first mempool marketplace, regular users like me could snipe this. Aside from the opportunity of finding much cheaper listings that are already pending transactions initiated by other basic marketplaces, it offers the RBF replaced by fee tooling to everyone. And this is again something sort of hinted at here back in November by Leonidas. RBF tooling is now available for everyone, not just the few. You can now fight back and reclaim your buy transaction if someone tries to snipe it from you. Again, I'll put the links to everything I'm showing you here in the video description so you can dive into this. And I encourage you to do that, especially before Runes, so you have an idea if mempool sniping does become more of a thing, which I anticipate it will. It's good to have have an understanding of what you can do about it. Why we can't go on without a mempool marketplace. Bitcoin blocks take 10 minutes on average. That time is too large and creates too many opportunities for snipers, bots, devs to simply be ignored. A mempool marketplace empowers the users to secure their buy, fight back, or even snipe some great opportunities themselves. It's only fair if everyone has the same tools at hand. This is what we aim for. Without a mempool marketplace, the only other option is custody and centralization. In the spirit of Bitcoin and Satoshi, we believe avoiding a big centralized marketplace for Ordinals trading is paramount. And here's where they explain that they've made it so it's really user-friendly. It's really almost no different than purchasing on Magic Eden. The best part about it is that there are almost no extra steps. Basic user can use Magisat's mempool marketplace just as they use any other Ordinals market. Hit buy, sign the buy, and replace the other buy transaction. So again, in summary, we're offering the tools to buy already pending transactions. We're offering the tools to fight back against RBF replaced by fee snipers that hijack your buys. We're keeping the experience very similar to what you've already used on sites like Magic Eden, and we're the first complete Bitcoin Ordinals marketplace. So step one, I recommend going to X, following Magisat, and diving into all the information they have here. I know it might be boring just to watch a video of somebody reading, but this is a sort of a complicated thing at first to understand, but it's super important. Again, I think with the launch of runes, mempool sniping is only going to get bigger. Okay, so let's go to magisat.io. So you can see that they have Ordinals trading and they have rare sats trading. And again, this is mempool trading, right? So if we go to Runestone, these are already transactions that have been broadcasted to the Bitcoin mempool, right? That are waiting to be confirmed. And so you can come in here and you can buy the floor, or you can click on one and buy it individually. You're typically going to pay a lower total amount by using this on hot projects or very hot runes projects as well. Again, I believe they'll have runes, I don't know, but I'm guessing runes will be on here as well. So you're usually going to pay a lower overall price using RBF on a mempool marketplace like Magisat than you would on a regular marketplace like Magic Eden, where you would have to, in this case, with 106 buys pending, scroll all the way down to find one, and it's going to be way higher than what the floor is showing, right? You're going to be paying a lot more. Whereas if you were to be on Magisat, this is going to take all of these buys that are being broadcasted, right? It sees all of them and gives you the opportunity, takes all the tech stuff out of it. Again, only a selective amount of people that were technical enough to do it could do this, which you could then come in here, you can see what the total is, and then you would just click buy now. So for example, let's just take a look at this. So let's go back to Runestone. So what's the cheapest one? Let's say I wanted to buy just on Magic Eden. Let's scroll down and find one that's available. So this is the first one I see available, so let's click on it. So this is the cheapest one currently available, right? So it's 0.085, 0.0859, whatever. Let's just call it 0.0859, okay? So now let's go back to Magisat. Let's refresh this, and it looks like we could just click buy floor quite a bit cheaper, as you can see. So let's click on this one. So the total on this would be 0.0818 versus 0.0859. So right now there's a big spread specifically on runestones, whereas if you were to use Magisat, it looks like you could get it for quite a bit cheaper on Magisat. So that's just one simple example of something that's kind of complex to get your head around. Again, I'm probably not doing a great job of explaining this, but it is starting to make more sense to me, and I can see how this is only going to get even crazier, I think. Again, with the launch of runes and more eyeballs on Ordinals and Bitcoin assets in general. Just a couple other things I'll point out that I've noticed. So the listings you'll see here basically are going to change quite frequently depending on how many buys are broadcasted across other marketplaces for that particular Ordinal project. So Runestones right now is 144. So that's how many pending buys are out there in the mempool right now waiting to be confirmed. And again, using replaced by fee sniping, mempool sniping, which this kind of does for you, takes the technicalities out of it. You can come in here and pay just a slightly higher miner fee, but essentially get it at a much lower cost because the actual floor on here is way higher right now due to all the pending buys. They posted this a little while ago that the Runestone's floor is about 5 to 10% lower than any other platform. That's what Mempool Marketplace can provide. Magisnipe allows anyone to buy Ordinals that have already been bought on other marketplaces, thus getting you the best deals in the market. So again, I see this as a very useful thing for Ordinal projects that the floor is rising quickly, other arbitrage opportunities. I also anticipate Mempool Sniping becoming more and more of a thing once Runes protocol is launched. It's something I think everyone everybody needs to at least have a basic understanding of. And then I think it's worth diving into Magisat and taking a real good look at this and seeing if it's something that you could use on Mempool Marketplace. In addition to, Magicat, especially if you're going to try to buy into something with a floor price that is rising very quickly. So thanks for taking time to watch this video. If it was helpful, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more crypto tutorials. See you in the next one.